artificial intelligence is not what so many people think, right? It really is a computer times like a million. It's a bunch of if this, then this, and you do that so many times that you get a more accurate representation of the data that you're looking for. So what's interesting about the artificial intelligence that we have now is that they've got it in such a way that it is really good at mimicking the language that we use right now, like normally what normal people would use, and then it can just do Google searches for the information, right? So what it does is it takes the information you're looking for and then translates it into a way that you can think that it gives it a facade of intelligence. It's even so good now that you can just have a straight up conversation with it, which is what I did. The other night, I was on YouTube looking up architecture stuff because it's just something I'm interested in. Architecture of like the old world, I guess you can say. So, you know how ancient Greece and ancient Rome, how they had just structures that would bankrupt a state today. Like that's how well made, how well constructed, and how grandiose these structures were that were built in biblical times. I work construction, so I have a very faint idea of how long and what kind of work goes into and what kind of skill goes into building this shitty factory building that I'm looking at right now. It takes a lot of time, effort. It's like I'm not gonna show you, but it's brick, lots of windows. It's 4 stories high. There's a huge tower, probably for exhaust. That takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of people with skill to construct a building like this. Now, the Coliseum is 20 times bigger than the big factory that I'm looking at now. A lot of the Pantheon, bigger than this. And it has more of a focus on making sure that it is representative of the gods that they worshipped, right? It has to be gigantic. That's why columns in like ancient Western civilizations, they were built so that they aren't straight. They're not just parallel lines that go up. These columns, they specifically are built so that from the top, in the middle it goes out, and then in the bottom it goes in, to make it look like the structure that it is supporting is bringing weight on it, and it looks like it's like stressing out the columns. It takes a lot of work. That's just the stuff I'm interested in. What I meant to. So, a lot of these structures have the golden ratio embedded in the design, like the ancient cathedrals. All these spiral design integrations that are put into these buildings. Lots of thought and stuff went into it. So then I was just curious, how is it that you incorporate this golden ratio? So I start talking to AI, and I go to ChatGPT, and they have a function in which you can just have a conversation with it. And so I do so. So then first I tell it, I want to understand about what the Fibonacci sequence is, which is where the golden ratio is derived from. And then I was able to tell it, explain to me in a way that you can skip a lot of the bullshit, really, because like I have a solid understanding of mathematics. So I was able to tell it, like, just explain to me like I kind of understand it already. And then it was perfectly able to like use functional expressions, use the language of mathematics, right? Like you don't have to dumb it down for me. You can give it, and then from there, if I have a question, I could just interrupt it and just ask a question, then go right back on topic. Artificial intelligence, like the way we know it, large language models, are really just going to make normal people, is going to create a distance between what normal people understand of technology and innovation, and it's gonna bridge the gap, but that bridge is gonna grow, right? So there are people that understand what's going on, and then there are people that are normal that don't understand. And like, let's say in the 50s, you get a normal guy can build a house and can probably fix up a car for the most part. The car, not that complicated. The house doesn't have that many regulations. So the bridge between the normal guy and understanding the real skill of a certain category, that bridge was a lot shorter. Now we're in a situation where most cars have some sort of hybrid integration. They have extreme complications because of the environmental regulations, and you have houses that have so much red tape that not only is it too expensive to build, but a lot of the procedures are explained in like just thick books, right? So like if you haven't done it for years, it's going to be difficult for you to build a house under the regulations that we have today. Like the normal person is now farther away from like the necessity of like building a house. So like the question of has technology gone too far? It's like it always kind of has. It's always just been too far. I mean, just looking at the ancient architecture, there's a building in Philadelphia that is so big and grandiose that when the government decided that they wanted to tear it down, it turned out it would bankrupt the city just to tear the building down, because it was done, first of all, so grand. It's huge, and the building back then was just super duper solid. It's all stone, limestone, marble, granite. These are all just really heavy shit. So never mind tearing it down, which is going to be a huge headache. There's also the transportation of taking that material and then shipping it somewhere else, which is going to require a lot of trips, a lot of gas, a lot of man hours. And like, so it really got me thinking, is we live in the dystopian future. The dystopian future that you see in 80s movies is already here. We're like well into it. The social distance between like being completely alone and having a healthy social life now just seems like way greater of an effort to have a normal social life, right? So if you want a normal social life, one, you have to have a phone, which costs a lot of money. Two, you have to have an internet presence, right? So if like a lot of the relationships that we have nowadays require a way to send somebody memes, like to just be very basic, right? You're sending friends memes. Like I send all my friends memes, and the other way around. And by memes, it's really just like social media videos. We've really gone away from like memes. When you look at the memes themselves, it's like it is technically correct to even say memes. I mean the definition of memes, because memes are like just it's like a timeless idea, just shown through a medium, right? So like if you're sending videos of, I don't know, people acting crazy, it's like the idea of people acting crazy is just shown through a video, and therefore you're really just getting the idea. The meme of it is the fact that people are acting crazy, and the timelessness part is that it's always been, and then it's shown through the medium of mostly videos. So there's a lot of requirements to do what used to just be like inherent in just living. College education now requires you to understand a computer. Daily life requires banking. You want to get into, you want to just have a bank account, you got to know how to use a phone, right? So like the dystopian future is here, and it definitely isn't going anywhere. Well, it's actually going to go further, right? Like the gap between what normal people need and what technology requires you to need, that gap is just getting way greater. And then to fill that gap, you're going to have artificial intelligence in some capacity, whether it's a computer explaining to you what the rules are of a certain procedure that you need to know, or if you want to order something off a menu. So that's my point. I kind of went everywhere. That was a bad video, but gotta get the reps in. All right, peace. You'll figure it out.